Welcome to Off the Mat, your new wrestling obsession. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Dom, how are you tonight? Are you ready to talk some professional wrestling and give our predictions on Crown Jewel Perth?
Definitely, man. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. We had some good wrestling this week. Got a crazy week ahead of me. You know, Con, New York City Comic Con, and there will be a lot of wrestlers there. Hopefully I can talk to some and see what their take is on creative. But I'm good.
That's good. We got, speaking of creative, I'm going to start the show off tonight talking a little bit about that because it kind of feels to me that maybe, just maybe, this ESPN thing isn't going the way they were hoping. And maybe, just maybe, the people speaking out and saying, listen, I'm not going to subscribe to this ESPN app. I'm not going to give you $29.99 for the first year to watch your mediocre PLEs. Well, now, I mean, Crown Jewel Perth is no... I mean, if you were to go off that, you wouldn't tell because we're still getting our same 5-match PLE format, 3 hours and 5 matches, which means you're pretty much granting everybody at least 20 minutes to walk to the ring format. But some news came out today, about 3 hours ago, that WWE is making some major creative changes.
Yep.
So that tells me that they're getting tired of all of the YouTube personalities, TikTok personalities, wrestling streamers and reactors, wrestling podcasters, the entire IWC coming out here and going, your product sucks. What you're putting out every week sucks. What you're giving us every week and expecting us to pay $30 for on a month for pay-per-views sucks. As a new report has come out from Body Slam on Patreon that WWE is in the midst of a creative reshuffling following months of fan criticism through 2025. It is said that WWE officials have been holding internal meetings over the past several days to evaluate the company's creative process and explore ways to enhance it. The goal is to deliver a more consistent and engaging product as the company moves into 2026. Well, you know, I have some ideas on that. WWE is said to be making adjustments to a creative team with the intent of improving storytelling across the shows. While WWE Hall of Famer Road Dogg Brian James will remain in charge of creative direction for Friday Night SmackDown, that's a mistake. They should bump him already. New addition, because SmackDown has been unwatchable for
We just
months.
heard something about SmackDown because it dropped to at least 3 hours. It gave it more time to be creative. Dropping it down to 2 hours, the creative.
They need Raw superstars to make SmackDown interesting. SmackDown has been unwatchable. The new additions are being brought in to make the show more enjoyable going forward. James was named as the co-leader writer of SmackDown alongside John Sequata earlier this year. Despite WWE and parent company TKO Group reporting record financial success this year, officials are reportedly aware that the creative satisfaction hasn't kept pace with those numbers. The company's current focus is on crafting more enticing storylines as it heads into the later half of the year. About time. But too little, too late, because you ruined our boy John Cena's final run. You know, the run itself, I don't know what you think about John Cena's final run, but the run itself has been mediocre at best. But the cool part is just getting to see John Cena one last time wrestle people.
Yeah, you know, it was good when he turned heel. When he turned heel, that shocked the world. Like we said last time, it shocked the world. It shocked the Wrestling Foundation, you know, to the core. The week after, he should have came out with Thugonomics, the song Thugonomics. Came back to his original music, come out one last time. So at least you get that round robin of his old stuff before he sets off into the sunset of retirement. You know, the Rock situation ruined that whole thing. You know, his run there. You know, and it, you know, it took away the possibilities of what could have been. No, and like you said, we could have had a good heel turn on Cena that he used to mock all the guys that he wrestled. He used their moves. That would have been a really cool thing that you brought up. You know, have that and have him, despite that, have that. And, you know, but look, you know what? We're going to have to take what is now. And, you know, yeah, I'm looking forward to the AJ Styles clash. I know there was no story to go right into it. You know, they just put them together. Meanwhile, AJ Styles in the midst of freaking fighting Dirty Dom and the El Grande Americanos, for that one night they change and just have them fight there. So it kind of like
it almost feels like they don't want a story to go along with it though, because even on Raw, AJ Styles is trying to talk on the mic to give it some sort of story, give it some sort of build, and they interrupt him. And he had to wait till after the match to stand on the table and go, you know, we're going to put on a show, salute, and that's the end of it.
See, I actually thought that Rusev was going to freaking attack AJ Styles, you know, because of Penta kicking him. That would have happened before he even had a chance to do that. But too many storylines. You see, look, the creative part of the whole process, you know, that was lacking. The performers were doing pretty good, with the exception of the botch with the girls and SmackDown, this and that. But overall, the performers have been doing really good. The storylines sucked ass. Really, you know, you're trying to make, you know, look, you got the friggin' Solo Sikoa with the MFTs. Where the hell have they been? You're
Nobody
getting
cares.
promos. You
Nobody
know,
cares.
You got that. You know, and now they're saying about the Ofemi, the Obafemi thing, where they want him to come up to face Sami Zayn, and that's not going to happen because they want Solo to come out. Solo's going to come out to be because he's going to have an open challenge at Perth. So
Solo's going to do an open challenge in Perth.
No, freaking Sammy's going to do open challenge, and he's going to come out. Sammy's freaking Solo's going to come out with the MFTs to fight.
Oh, on SmackDown, he's going to do an open challenge.
No, I think he's going to do open challenge in freaking on the pay-per-view.
Why?
That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's what I heard this week. That he's going to have an open challenge on the pay-per-view. So
that seems odd, like an odd place to put that. Like I can see it going down on SmackDown. That's an odd place to put it.
Unless I'm wrong, but I think I heard that he was going to have an open challenge on that. Maybe it's the Friday night, the Friday before Perth. This Friday coming up. Tomorrow.
No, it's only Wednesday.
Oh,
we're pre-recording this week.
I got a brain fart there. You're right.
Where is SmackDown from Perth this week?
Yeah. So I actually think, well, I don't know. I think because I know Monday Night Raw is actually from Perth, and Monday Night Raw is going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll be at work. I would be able to watch the.
Well, that's a good thing about Netflix is you can watch it at any time.
Yeah, I know. I do like watching it live.
Oh wait, no, it's what? No, it's on the 10th, right? October 10th. Where is SmackDown coming from? I'm trying to find out where SmackDown's coming from. Okay, yeah, they haven't been pushing it as an early start time in SmackDown coming from Australia tomorrow, Friday night. So I don't know where SmackDown. Let's see. Let's see if WWE website tells me. Yeah, it is. It's from Perth. So SmackDown will be taking place from Perth as well. You are correct. Which is weird because I haven't seen a early start time announced for Perth. Maybe it's because it's going to be pre-taped. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely gonna be pre-taped for us in the States, but all right. Well,
Really.
but what's your thought on the creative?
Well, you know what I think. You know, every other week I always say something that it could be better. The last creative, the last big creative thing that they had was Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood with McIntyre and CM Punk, and then creative went down shit after that. Went downhill after that. The Bloodline storyline was a great storyline that lasted 3 years, and then abruptly just ended. Like no, like after Roman lost, it just really that just broke apart, and then everything just like kind of like went sideways. But creative needs to be better. You need better writers. You need to have some stories. You have all those wrestlers that are back there that could use some spotlight shine and have them mixed in with a good storyline. Even the freaking the LA Knight Punk, that whole thing with Seth and the Usos and all this stuff like that. I don't know, man. It just falls flat. Freaking LA Knight kind of sucked in the mic against CM Punk. CM Punk freaking really punked him. And the stories that look, what are we going to get? Roman Reigns versus Cody again at WrestleMania. The Rock Roman, nobody wants it anymore because it's over. That's over.
Well, there's somebody that wants it. Saudi Arabia wants it. Saudi Arabia is willing to pay big money for it.
Yeah, but that's WrestleMania 43. I mean 42 right now. This WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like I said, they need better writers. You can't tell me that there is no creative writer back there that's a great that can write somewhat pretty good stories, decent storylines that could actually make things make sense.
Welcome, Sticks. Glad you could join us on your little nappy poo, huh?
No, I was at work. Thank you very much.
Take a little nappy poo.
I won't get into everything else, but
you ever see that dog meme when the dog looks like this with their face?
Yeah. Coming in, rubbing your eyes like you were just taking a little nappy poo.
I was not brought. Get out of here.
Come on, man. You're right.
But listen, Dom is 100% correct. Nobody wants Roman Reigns, The Rock, at this point in time. Right now, The Rock is not in good favor with the WWE universe, as far as I'm concerned.
Look, after Cena leaves, they gotta really dig deep. They want you to pay this money for these pay-per-views.
Dig deep now.
They want to have all these shows, and they want you to freaking engage and be really watch these things go through. I'm not paying the money for a subpar show where I can watch a regular subpar show anytime. These freaking pay-per-views should be freaking off the hook. Every championship battled, and you can have your one or two without championship because champions, you don't really need championship matches to have really good matches. But you need to defend these damn titles, these mid-card titles. You need to be more engaging and more involved than having look, now you're gonna have Julia go after freaking Tiffany Stratton, right? She fights Tiffany Stratton. She wins the belt, double champ. See, the new thing is double champs now. Everybody wants to be a double champ now. Roman Reigns opened the door for double champ to be a freaking double champ, and the bloodline. Now everybody's gonna be a double champ. Not that they didn't do it before.
I don't think they're gonna take the belt off Tiffany anytime soon because there's nobody. The clear person they want to put the belt on is Jade, and it's just a matter of when they're gonna do it. Because right now They're not going to do it because they're getting a bunch of backlash because people are saying that they don't feel like Jade's ready. And you're not going to put the belt on Julia right now because she's not doing anything with her U.S. title.
But see, that's the same thing with Stephanie Vakir. She wasn't doing anything. They gave her the championship belt.
She was sick. She had some sort of, it came out today that she was talking about it, that she had some sort of throat infection where she couldn't eat or drink for days, and that she was under constant surveillance from the WWE medical team. So she was legitimately sick leading into her run to where she couldn't wrestle. So that's understandable.
Okay.
She just won the title. Her first title defense is not even really a title defense, is against Tiffany Stratton in Perth, and they're probably going to give her the Crown Jewel Championship as well. Because
freaking Julia is going to interfere in that match with Tiffany Stratton. I have that already pinned up. But like I said, these the champions, you're gonna have like Bianca Belair. For some reason, her finger is not
healed. Where has she been?
Her finger. She has a problem with her finger. She can't bend her finger. And so she has like this thing where they have to keep. I assume that they kept breaking her finger to try to get it back to a point where she can bend it. So she has to keep constantly going for treatment on her finger. There was she had some kind of infection in her finger or something, and she can't bend it. It broke. They had to break it and put it back in place, and still can't. So listen, you can't fight. You can't grab and do things with your finger out, sticking like this. And you're trying to grab. It's like
just tape it up. Tape it to another one.
Yeah. But we all know they want to have the Bianca Belair friggin' fight. Have her fight. Jade Cargill. That's still on the cards. I don't know if it's still a hot commodity now.
I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah, it has.
It's over and done.
So
a year ago, not a year ago, but not Clash of Champions.
A month ago?
No.
We're playing charades.
I can't think of the name.
Evolution.
Yeah, I'm trying. The when they're all in the tube, they all come out at once.
The Survivor Series War Games. Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. That was the last time it was ever relevant because she came out. She beat the shit out of the other girl. I can't think who it is. I'm
I don't even
out
know
of
what
it.
you're talking about. Sticks. I'm so you might as well be doing Steiner math right now.
Jade came out and
beat up Naomi.
Beat up Naomi. Yeah, that was the last time that line was relevant. Yeah. My brain is not even. That was the last time that was relevant.
I got a fucking headache now. Thank you, Sticks.
Like I'm sitting here like, what are we doing? Like go through. We might as well be doing Steiner math right now.
The ring, the ring where they
the ring with the five.
I don't know.
Elimination Chamber.
Sticks' math had me sweating so much that I got sunscreen in my eye from earlier today. Like it's
oh my
crazy.
God. No, but
what'd you say that Steiner math?
Yeah.
You see, look, like when The Rock came out, and he said that long-term storytelling. What they can do is they can recreate some of these storylines if they do it right. They need a good creative team that can actually bring these stories back. To try to make something. You can add some elements now. Add some different elements with the storylines. Like eventually, Bianca Belair is coming back. When she comes back, you turn her heel. She has to be heel, and now you have Jade Cargill.
The problem to me is you look at the creative team in WWE. There are a lot of guys that know the business. Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard. But the problem is they're old heads.
Wow.
They're Vince McMahon era old heads. And you're trying to revitalize this company and give this company a shot in the arm and bring in fresh storylines and new stuff. But the problem is you still got people in behind the curtain that are old heads.
Yep.
You got to refresh. I think that they should go outside and completely, recruit new talent, not talent, but creative talent.
Right.
Go out there and, put a contest out there. Say, submit a storyline, submit scripts, submit, whatever to us and a chance to become a WWE writer. It'll probably end badly. I'm sure people are going to be like, you're a fucking idiot for even suggesting that. But there's just got to be something. Like, I sat here. No, I sat here a few months ago or weeks ago and laid out, this is how I think the road from Perth to WrestleMania should go for the WWE Championship and all these players involved. But, Dom has had good ideas. Styx has had good ideas. There's other people out there in the IWC who have podcasts that have had great ideas as far as story goes. Right. And WWE always wants to play the safe route. They always want to. There's no more unpredictability, really. And you just got to get something going. Like, you were firing on all cylinders in the build to WrestleMania 40 and even out of WrestleMania 40. The night creative died this year. And you can pinpoint the night. When was Raw's debut on Netflix? January. Was it 6th?
Yeah, January 6th.
That's right, January 6th. That's when creative died. That's when the creative went downhill. The moment you had The Rock coming out after all of that bullshit, I want your soul stuff from WrestleMania, the minute he comes out and starts praising Cody Rhodes, and they have that whole crap, and then he comes out on NXT and says, "Shut your mouth and enjoy the ride we're taking you on." Never to be to only show up for no reason and do the 3. That was the night creative went downhill. And you had an opportunity with John Cena. That's kind of how I started looking at John Cena's final run. There was before Elimination Chamber, the heel turn, and after the heel turn. And everything after the heel turn has been, yes. Until where John Cena even came out and said, listen, guys, I know my heel turn failed. Shit happens. Sorry about it. You can't go back and redo it now. And that's true.
Yeah.
They've fumbled John Cena's final year.
I don't know if we can put it all.
You're gonna give it a pass because it's John Cena and he's retiring. We're getting what most wrestlers don't get. Most wrestlers are just done. Their career is over. They don't know when it's gonna happen. It just, in a blink of an eye, it's done. Usually because of medical, whatever. John Cena's getting the chance to have his last final run and his last hurrah, and that's great. And I think all of us as wrestling fans want to give that a pass and say, hey, look, we can forgive the terrible heel run because at least we're getting to see John Cena and experience John Cena one last time.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
But in reality, go ahead, Styx.
The idea of a wrestler getting a last match is kind of new. It since probably when the Undertaker hung up his boots, right? And when they started, then Shawn Michaels did it, and then then we get Goldberg and we get now John Cena. Previous to that, wrestlers would fade away into the ether and never to be seen again.
Their last match ends up being GCW or some promotion in a bingo hall somewhere.
Right. They're playing at your local gymnasium in that last match, and that's it. But this whole, oh, I'm going to get a last match, and have it promoted as the last match. Totally new. I just wanted to interject really quick that as far as creative, and I think we've said it on here before, I don't think we can totally blame creative for what happened with The Rock, because The Rock is what I think The Rock threw the spanner in the works. He doesn't show up at WrestleMania, and they go, "Oh shit, now what do you?" Because I think up until that day of WrestleMania, they thought he was showing up.
But you have to blame the creative, because they should have had an emergency plan, a plan B. As comic book fans, all of us, Batman always has a contingency plan.
Oh.
How does the WWE not have a contingency plan? And after The Rock basically says "fuck you" and takes his ball and go home, how do you not have a contingency and plan in place for this John Cena heel turn? How do you have John Cena come out and just be like, I'm not going to give you Dr. Thugonomics. I'm not going to give you any of this stuff because that's what you want. I'm just going to come out like I always do. There's nothing special there. There's no magic there. It's basically WWE saying, you're getting to see John Cena one more time. Deal with it. Take it all.
And I don't disagree. Listen, I don't disagree with you that they should have had a backup plan. But, the unfortunate thing is, and the unpopular idea is, P.S. Michael Hayes, he ain't Batman. None of those guys are Batman.
Apparently not.
They don't have contingency plans. I can tell you that right now, that none of them have a contingency plan to anything. Not even when these wrestlers get injured now. So if someone gets injured, granted that it's a one-off type of thing, but this is a one-off type of thing we're talking about too, with The Rock not showing up. Someone doesn't show up. Someone can't make a match. You're 100% right. They need to have a contingency plan. They don't have contingency plans. I don't know if they've ever.
But you also they had months to come up with something. They had months to give you a reason why John Cena turned heel. He didn't mention The Rock. He didn't mention Travis Scott. Any of that. You had an out. But the problem is their creative team right now can't write their way out of a paper bag. And they couldn't come up with anything better than John Cena. Like, his first heel promo was great, but it all happened accidentally. Like when he's roasting that kid. Great stuff. And I've read articles where John said, "Oh, well, my first heel promo sucked." No, that was the best heel promo you had. You're frying that little kid. But then it was like, WWE couldn't go anywhere with it. It was so lackluster that he was heel one Friday and it was done the next night. And,
it was like it was like he turned a light switch. It's like, oh, now I'm good. I'm babyface.
And it's again. Like, all right.
Yeah. Oh.
WWE pitch meeting. All right, guys. We got an event coming up. We're getting roasted online for our shows lately. They're calling them unwatchable. What can we do to spice them up? What storylines can we go? Oh man, I don't know. Bring back Brock Lesnar. Yeah, that's it. Bring back Brock Lesnar. Everyone will go crazy. Who cares? Who cares? Backlash.
Right.
He shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Well, bring back Brock Lesnar didn't work. What now? What are we gonna do now? We're gonna have Roman Reigns get beat up and then re-debut. And they get beat up and go away and film Street Fighter and then come back and re-debut. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Dude, there's just nothing here. And I'm glad that they're finally realizing that and they're finally admitting it. But I'm afraid that it's not the fact that people are sitting here, ridiculing them and talking about them and saying, hey, your creative sucks. I think it has less to do with that and more to do with, oh shit, ESPN just gave us a few billy with a B to buy our pay-per-view products and get people to sign up for this subscription plan, and they're not doing it.
I'm going to tell you this. I don't think it's just ESPN. I think Netflix is also getting on WWE.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, look,
I'm absolutely sure.
Look, first of all, you have Roman Reigns, who's not on the shows every friggin' week, who's not even there half the time because he's out doing his own thing. The WWE needs a consistency plan that's going to have somebody that is popular, really popular, put on the Netflix shows on Mondays, and take it from there. Because at the end of the day, people are getting bored. Roman Reigns is gone for off TV for the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Why? Find a wrestler that people will engage and like. And look, people like Obafemi. Bring him up. Bring up the people that the people like, and make storylines that are decent. That who the hell wouldn't want to see Obafemi come up and get involved with Solo and the MFTs?
Me.
Or get involved.
I don't feel like Obafemi is ready.
With the Vision, or go up against Rusev, or go up against friggin' Brock Lesnar. I mean, you could have big storylines. Have him come up. He could win the championship off Sammy. Right away, you have him. You push him off the bat. He has the U.S. championship, and the sky's the limit with who he can fight. You know, you got people.
I don't know. The way they've been doing belts lately is like, oh, you've got it for like 3 weeks, and if you're not even getting a pop, or putting it on somebody else to try and get a pop.
But you know what? I don't mind them taking the belt off somebody. I don't want to see a person hold the freaking belt for years anymore.
Well, I don't want to see him hold it for years, but at least give him.
I want to see a good couple of months run. You have the belt, you're champion for a few months, and then boom, your time is done. It goes to the next thing. It's just one of those things where the storylines are lame. You know, and I always say about the attitude,
or they're regurgitated shit, because what they're doing with Jey Uso right now is regurgitated shit.
Yeah. Now they're doing it the opposite way, where he has more of an edge, or he's bad. He's more of a he's not the good guy. You know, he comes out. So he's not even doing that really anymore. You know, so they regurgitate storylines that they had before in the past. They even regurgitate storylines that were on anime shows that they're doing. You know, because they have that. Look, the Attitude Era, like I said, there was hit and misses in the Attitude Era, but at least things worked in the Attitude Era. You had the same people leading the way: The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, those guys, Kurt Angle. You had those guys coming out left and right every week. Every week, Stone Cold's in a match. Every week, The Rock was in a match. You know, Triple H. Yes, mind you, if you find other ventures and other things, you're going to make money. Of course, you're going to do that. You know, because.
Let me interrupt you real quick and just say that it wasn't the matches that people were watching in the Attitude Era. It was what's going to happen next.
Yes.
The segments. It was the match was a part of it, but it was the segment as a whole, because you tuned in every week to Monday Night Raw to see what is Stone Cold going to do. Who's he going to stun this week? How is he going to stun them? You know, is he going to drive a beer truck to the ring? Is he going to drive his ATV? Is he going to fill Vince McMahon's car up with cement? Throwing the Rock feud for the Intercontinental Championship of all things. Not even the WWE Championship. Throwing it into the Detroit River. Their feud, you know, stunning Santa Claus. His feud with Gold Dust. It was the whole thing. His stuff with Booker T. It was the whole thing. The whole, you know, presentation package. It wasn't just the match.
Look how things were so fun about with The Rock and Stone Cold. Stone Cold beats friggin' guy beats Jake the Snake Roberts. 316, Stone Cold 316 was born. He friggin' fights, wins the Intercontinental Championship, doesn't want that because he wants the championship, throws it in the river. And then next week, The Rock gets it, like you said, becomes the people's champ. I'm the people's champ. He's got it. So the storyline continued, and it worked. Creative. We had some pretty good people in the back that were creative when it came to some of the storylines. Yeah, the storylines were hit and miss like always, but even the misses still had more substance than some of the segments now. And you have a lot of wrestlers in the back that are doing nothing. Bring them aboard. Bring them on. Put them on. Get them out there. Maxine Dupree. All right, she had a great match on Monday night, right? She's learning.
Yeah.
She should be fighting more now. Don't have her in the back, freaking walking around with these guys and going around and just talking and feeling bad for Izawa and all these guys.
Yep.
Because have her fight now. Have her be a legit threat. But they don't do that.
Well, I watched that match again today, actually, and I have to kind of agree with some of the other people out there who said, Maxine Dupree did a great job, but Becky Lynch helped tremendously with that.
She always does. That's one of the great things about. That's why Becky's one of the all timers. Is she can have an instant classic with anybody, and she can carry she can carry the match. For some reason, she didn't carry the match with Nikki Bella, and that wasn't one of those instant classics. But
nope,
she made Maxine look great. But that's all I was saying. Like WWE creative is so lackluster that it's bring back Brock Lesnar. Oh, bring back AJ Lee. Capture lightning in a bottle. Hello, where's our continuation of that feud?
Nope.
Why all of a sudden did we go from AJ Lee to now Becky Maxine? And Becky feels like she's got no direction because she's just in backstage promos ranting and raving while Seth sits there like, every husband you've ever seen while his wife is just sitting there berating him. Like, it just like, there's no movement on anything.
AJ was just another pop for them. The pop. Oh, she came back. Yay, everyone's happy. And then the next week, crickets. They're not even on TV. The following week, not more crickets because they're not on TV.
It's just this pay-per-view schedule, man. It feels like there's a pay-per-view, then they have 2 weeks to try to build a story, or 3 weeks to try to build a story, then another pay-per-view.
I was hoping that would end with the ESPN deal came through. I don't know if it will.
And now, word on the street and the Dirty Dom dirt sheets is that their next ploy is to bring back Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
No.
What is Shane McMahon gonna offer to anything? Shane McMahon, AEW didn't even want to do business with Shane McMahon. Nope. So, what is Shane McMahon bringing back? Like, is he gonna
freaking Mean Street Posse?
Wow.
Is he gonna head up creative now?
Bring back the Spirit Squad.
Spirit Squad.
Yeah, so we can see them fucking wheel Pete Gas out there and like Dom said, his whole Mean Street Posse.
The tough streets of Greenwich. My thing is that it could put a little fire into the story, having Shane come back. If that is a thing, they could. We don't know how true that is. We don't know.
Well, he's on the roster now. They put him online on the roster.
Once you put the person,
it's usually an indication that he's doing something.
I know. So, can we expect Shane McMahon at Crown Jewel?
I don't know. I mean, I never say never. But exactly. Why? How does Shane McMahon fit into all that? Like, what does bringing back Shane McMahon fix?
Yeah,
I guess
my only thought with him is he's the only McMahon you can bring back.
Well, yeah, Stephanie's
not a McMahon anymore, and you're not bringing the old man McMahon back.
I know, but you know what? But look, you could bring Shane and have a possibility to have him be a manager of somebody. Bring back the
managers. They don't do managers anymore, though. That's not a thing anymore. Except for Heyman. Heyman's the only one. He's not really a manager. He's like an advocate or a.
But the whole fact is that you could have Shane come back. He is a fan favorite. People like Shane.
People like Shane. Yeah, I'm not saying they didn't.
So,
people like Shane when he's got there's direction and a reason for it. But where does he fit?
We don't know. Yeah. Maybe he comes going after Triple H. You have a storyline where he's battling with Triple H for creative.
I mean, the way this creative team's going, we're going to end up having Shane McMahon as being one of the 5 members of the men's War Games team. That's my biggest fear is that they're announcing Shane McMahon's been moved to the active roster for WWE, and now he's going to be part of the War Games team.
What about the War Games? The War Games when with the friggin' Shawn Michaels and friggin' Triple H when NXT type of thing when they're talking about War Games when friggin' this guy came out, friggin' Regal came out to say War Games.
That was just for a cheap pop for NXT Homecoming. It wasn't. There was nothing there.
I know, but I'm just saying. But who knows maybe we'll get Survivor Series. We'll have a surprise with him coming out. He helps somebody, and that's an angle. Somebody has an in needs help. Who knows, man? Like I said, I don't know. Look, I don't know what creative's thinking. If they brought him back he's on the roster, they're definitely going to use him. Can they use him for NXT? Because they use, like I was telling before we came on, I was talking to Matt. Can they use him for NXT? Have him come out, be the owner, the one that bought TNA. Because I think.
Oh, do that whole angle again? Do that,
but you know what? You can have.
Talk about regurgitation.
I know, but the WWE is probably going to purchase NXT. So you have somebody run NXT.
They already own NXT. I think you mean TNA.
TNA, man. I'm sorry, TNA.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Have somebody run TNA if they purchase it.
But why? Why would WWE purchase? Here's the thing: is that WWE. Here's why I don't think WWE buying TNA makes sense because they're trying to expand into a global market. So they already have NXT. They bought AAA to expand into the Mexican market. They're talking about trying to buy a Japanese company to expand into that market. Buying TNA financially makes no sense for them. It would be to just put them out of business. And that's not where their mindset is. I think is TNA on for sale? Yes, I believe it is. But I think the WWE partnership is just going to strengthen that sale. And whoever comes in and buys TNA, WWE is going to say, okay, let us help you get bigger than AEW to push AEW out.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense to me for WWE to buy TNA. It's like it made no sense for AEW and Tony Khan to buy Ring of Honor. Because now he's putting on Ring of Honor shows. He's already got, a AEW Dynamite show that is hit or miss every week, mostly miss. He's got a Collision on Saturday that's hit or miss every week. They had a show on Friday that failed because of CM Punk, because it was supposed to revolve around him and he left. So they've already failed and canceled shows. So why are you buying Ring of Honor to try to have to put on another show? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for WWE to purchase TNA. It makes sense for them to have a hand in it and help them build it up, but it does not make sense it does not make logical sense for them to buy TNA because they get no market expansion from buying TNA. All they have is more all they have is more debt on their books, more contracts on their books, and more professional wrestlers that they're not doing anything with.
Yeah.
Now they could buy a stake in it. They could buy a stake in TNA.
Yeah, and I think they already have. I think they already have.
I think that's the motion that they've got. Yeah.
I think that's why, because I think that's why we're getting this TNA NXT crossover deal. It's because WWE has a stake in and I believe they have a right of first refusal clause also. I've heard, and when the TNA sale does happen, WWE has the right to step in that sale. So I think their hands are all in TNA, and that's why we saw people like Gail Kim and all these people get fired, is because WWE is, telling them behind the scenes, look, this is what you need. We think you should change, but I don't think they're going to buy it. I just don't see why they would.
Yeah.
Especially when they've already poached two of the biggest talents from TNA in Jordan Grace and Mr.
Joe Hendry.
Mm-hmm.
So what's left? An aging Moose and a bunch of cast-offs from WWE, the Hardy Boys, Mustafa Ali, Nick Namath, Matt Cardona, which I'm shocked that he's going to get a match on NXT next week. So It looks like there might be some interest in WWE bringing back Matt Cardona. I don't know. I just don't.
Wasn't his wife in WWE?
Yeah, she is.
Whatever.
His wife, Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
We had a couple of signings this week as Santos Escobar re-signed with WWE for some unknown reason. It was said that was never a money thing with him. He was unhappy with his creative, which makes me really wonder what WWE is going to do with that, because I don't see the allure of Santos Escobar. Maybe just because his creative wasn't used well. I didn't.
You know what? Maybe you could have him fighting AAA.
I wasn't a fan of him in NXT. I wasn't a fan of him in the main roster. I mean, AAA makes sense. I'll give that to you, Dom. But why wouldn't you sign him to AAA? Why would you re-sign him to a WWE contract instead of a AAA contract? And also, the WWE AAA merger hasn't officially gone through yet, so I don't think WWE is signing any talent for AAA. You would see AAA signing that talent.
Yeah.
I mean, they could potentially be signing him just to primarily use him over there, like they are with Los Garza. But I don't know on that one. And then we also had the return of a former WWE women's tag team champion on SmackDown last night. She now goes by Lacey Lane, who used to be known in WWE as Caden Carter. She appeared on Dynamite last night to challenge Mercedes Moné for the TNT Championship.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Like I said, look, in reality, money-wise, I like how wrestlers say, oh, it's not the money thing, it's creative. All right, fine. You want a good creative storyline to have in your matches and stuff like that. But also the money means a lot too. The money, look, they tried getting some people with their money, spending the money, and they didn't get the guys or the girls that they tried for. A lot of wrestlers are very obligated to stay with WWE because they like the brand. And now that they have more of a policy where they'll film and you get time off with family on the holidays that they usually have now. Like Triple H is doing that, and that's pretty cool. But yes, creative I'll backtrack. Creative does mean a lot because you want a good storyline that makes sense. You really do. And they have so much they can do. It's just, you have all these wrestlers that can compete. That mid card with Dominic, the Intercontinental Championship, you could do so much with that. Now like I said, you got the Americanos, you got the freaking goddamn Rusev. You could have Matt Cordova if he comes in, you sign him, have him. Escobar can be part of that. You can, because let me say the feuds that Dominic had in AAA is not over yet. That's eventually that's gonna happen. You're gonna have more feuds. Let's crossover there now. They're talking Ethan Page. Ethan Page needs to fast track to WWE to the main roster soon. You know, I like to see him there because if you build up these mid cards and have wrestlers in these mid cards, that's what makes like I said back in the '90s, the mid cards meant everything. You've seen that The Rock and Stone Cold for the Intercontinental Championship, the U.S. Championship, Edge. You had all these championships, these mid cards that these big time stars had and fought for, and the story creative was pretty good. Now, there's really there's no story with anything, and you go back to the Shane McMahon thing. There could be a lot of things like Chris Jericho. We might be seeing him in a couple of months. Come back. Have one last run. It's the WWE is the big time. AEW, yes, you'll get a good paycheck and you'll be able to wrestle and show your talent. And there is no creative side in AEW either. AEW is just like Tony Khan's friggin' sandbox. Other than that, I want to see a change, a significant change. If you could have some decent stories leading the way to build up after freaking not freaking Survivor Series. Going into the new year. And like we'll see. Like Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble, like you said. Going for the championship, finally going to the championship. AJ Styles retiring but wants to stay part of of the back, of creative. What you need guys like that. If I would sign AJ Styles, he probably got some really good storytelling. He'd be part of creative.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know. You were talking and I was going to say something, but I completely lost it. Creative. I want to see the creative change and get better before they call up a guy like Ethan Page now and Ricky Starks. I know week after week we sit here and talk about them potentially getting called up, and I'm sure everyone's sick of hearing about it. But I don't want to see them get called up and be lost in the shuffle.
Yep.
I don't want them to see them take 2 years like Carmelo Hayes did to find a little bit of traction. I don't want them to get lost in the shuffle. Those are guys that have been around the block. Him and Ricky Starks have been around the block. They've both been champions. Other places, stars, other places, they need to hit the ground running. And I don't want to see their creative team just lose them in the shuffle. So they need to get their creative figured out and solid product before they call those guys up.
And they don't deserve to come up and be, for lack of a better word, jobbers.
Right.
In the company.
And that's exactly what I see Trick Williams being if he gets called up now. And that's exactly what I would see Obafemi. If Obafemi got called up right now, I could tell you right now who Obafemi would be. Obafemi would be the next Braun Strowman. He would be the next, who else? Omos. There's these big guys that are here and gone in a blink of an eye because they have no direction. They have no use for them. What was the dude who was brought up and was part of the New Day and everyone was like, who?
Oh, yeah.
Who the hell is this guy? And then he got shit canned for abuse.
I figured no.
Something Lee. Something Lee.
Not Chris Lee.
That's my point right there. Like, who? You don't know. You didn't remember his name now. So that's my fear with the way their creative's going.
Not Keith Lee. Keith Lee is what's his face?
That's Meechin's husband.
Meechin's husband, yeah, Keith Lee.
But here is a good example of creative. What happened last night at TNA? The Hardy Boys won the NXT championships, right? They're double champion. So now it's been made official that at Bound for Glory, their match with the Dudley Boys is now for both the TNA Tag Team Championships and the NXT Championships. Tag Team Championships.
Oh my God.
That's at least continuing a storyline.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's going through
Sorts.
TNA. I don't know.
Mm.
That's just my thing, is that they've got to do something with the creative on this, and they got to do something before bringing any more NXT people. Give the people who are already there, like, where the hell has American Made been? Where the hell's Ivy Nile been? Why all of a sudden do we have 16 Grande Americanos? You have a small eventi and a lot, Americano right now, and you're gonna have a caramel macchiato Americano soon. Why do we have so many Americanos, but you can't get Ivy Nile on TV? You can't get American Made on TV.
Makes no sense. I always say, you don't have one person there. Why is it? Because you have the creative. They're a tag team. Have them come out. Have them figure Ivy Nile come out. You don't need freaking anybody to hold their hand.
Creative has been so bad that these guys have had to go into business for themselves. Look at Karrion Kross. Look at R-Truth. Look at all the crap with R-Truth to fire him, bring him back because of fan demand, only to do nothing with him.
Yep.
You have him be like, I'm Ron Killings now. I'm not going to be the jokey R-Truth anymore. And instead of giving him a push, even a mid-card push, he's nowhere to be found anymore. He gets F5'd out of existence by Brock Lesnar.
Fucking rip pants, Brock Lesnar.
It just, I don't know. Enough ranted on that. We got a little bit more news here. Going back to a story we talked about a few weeks ago, Raja Jackson he was arrested, and now he is being charged in a Los Angeles court with 1 count of felony battery causing serious bodily injury and 1 count of misdemeanor battery. Prosecutors also plan to seek a sentencing enhancement, allowing that Jackson inflicted great bodily injury to Psycho Stu. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office expects to file the criminal complaint later today. So it was earlier today that was announced.
Wow.
So Raja Jackson is going to be facing some big money. He was arrested in September on suspicion of felony assault and was released on a $50,000 bond. So that's just now. I wonder if they'll get any more charges on him for premeditation and all that, since he was planning it all out.
Yeah.
Well, like we said then, they had a lot to look into for that, because there's a whole question of work, not work. Who knew? Who didn't know? So that's all part of it.
We also got Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston signing multi-year deals.
Yep.
So it looks like Woods and Kingston are going to stay around for a while. So that's exciting too. But all right, that's pretty much our news. Any other news reports you want to talk about?
No, I think you hit it on the nose. I think you have all the top stories right now, as of right now, the big headliners that are going on right now. I don't know, man. I'm just hopefully, we get some surprises. I think this weekend we might get some surprises. I think we'll get a couple of surprises and betrayal. We might get a betrayal. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, again, you couldn't even find, like, you had a good gimmick going with Cross and Scarlett. You could have pushed that, and they didn't. I just think the WWE creative shakeup needs to happen. And much like everything in this world, you need to get the old heads out, bring some new, fresh talent in. And I hope that's AJ. If AJ Styles is going to still be backstage and move into creative,
you
whatever
can have
he's going to do.
A reality show, to win a position and creative on freaking WWE. Come up with storylines. You have people battling each other on a reality show that could actually make, what would you do? And people like, show what they would do, and the best person wins. They become, like you said, they become part of the freaking creative team. It's funny. They use a lot of people that you least expect to write. You hear all these different names that people are in the back that wrote for WWE, and you're surprised.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, exactly. Bring him back. Freddie Prinze Jr., right? I mentioned him before, like you just said now, but like who no one expected. No one to this day still knows that Freddie Prinze Jr. wrote for the WWE. Only true hard wrestling fans that know about wrestling knew that. Get people like that. You can't tell me there's no actors back there. There's no actors that like wrestling that would definitely love to work, in some creative and make some storylines. I bet you could find some.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, they're so bent on making the money. They see, it's like the whole Disney thing. You take a name like Star Wars, you put it up there, it's Star Wars. You make a story that is shit and it's not Star Wars. But because it has the word Star Wars on it, it's Star Wars. So the same thing with wrestling. It goes the same, like you're putting on a show because you put WWE name on it, doesn't mean it's WWE product. If that makes sense. Like it doesn't mean that you're gonna get the top of the line wrestling matches and top of the line creative stories. They think it's gonna sell itself.
Mm-hmm.
But you see that people are fighting back and people are arguing and people getting mad. Every podcaster out there, YouTuber out there, they're all saying the same thing. Like Matt said, trash. And
Yep.
if
That's true.
let me tell you something. If they had their shit right, that ESPN app would have been sold. You would have had freaking million subscribers with no ifs, ands, or buts. But like I said,
yeah.
If you have certain
Yeah. There's two differences. Well, actually, there's only one difference between like Netflix and ESPN. Netflix bought into the whole bloodline and what was going on there. Wrestling was number one with a bullet.
At the tippity top.
Yep. And then the slow decline of it after the Netflix era. And then ESPN comes around. Well, you're not gonna get that anymore. You're gonna get what you're seeing on TV now.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't get why ESPN bought into it, seeing what we're getting now. They got people who cover it.
Let me tell you something. ESPN is part of Disney. Disney owns ESPN. So basically,
it kind of is. It kind of is.
No,
part of their umbrella.
Disney owns ESPN. They own the Anaheim Angels. Disney has a lot of money. So you don't think that Disney itself wants a part of the WWE of what's going on at the time where WWE was hot? You think about it, you sign pay-per-view. You're gonna be the number one freaking channel for pay-per-views. ESPN. That also bought the Red Zone and freaking goddamn the Football Network.
Yeah, they bought a percentage of the NFL broadcasting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
right.
You have that with the wrestling and you bring in new fans. That's the thing. They have the money to do that. But with that, there is no creative. Yeah. TKO just wants to put out a product out there, take away the house shows, take away the things that mean something just for that buck, just to throw out a freaking goddamn a shitty ass freaking match, pay-per-view, without putting any thought process into it. Oh, yes, it's going to be great. Yeah, this or that. No. Sit back, relax, take it easy, and really observe your product you have and really see what the fans. The fans mean a lot in everything. You know, sometimes you got to be careful wanting what the fans want because the fans don't even know what the hell they want sometimes. But
No,
That's why I was saying
don't.
opening up to fans was probably a bad idea, but
yeah, you know, but it's the fans that actually make the show, make things. They're the ones that cheer you on, pay for your tickets, buy your memorabilia, all these things. The least you could fucking do is put a good show on and make it awesome.
Yeah. Well, again, the problem is we've talked about this as well. The fans that you want there are getting priced out.
Families are priced out, man. Families that would go to wrestling matches on a regular basis, priced out, no longer pay.
Yeah. I will tell you that 2 years ago, it had to have been 2 years ago now, maybe 3. It was just before. It was 2 years ago. I went down and saw Raw at the State Farm Arena in Georgia.
Okay.
I spent $125 for 4 tickets for me and my family to go watch Raw. I couldn't buy 1 ticket for that now.
No.
oh, you could, but you're going to be sitting.
Nosebleed seats.
You're going to be touching the roof.
Yeah.
You're going to be so high up that if they open.
Who is that? Is that the?
Yeah,
Who is that? Is that the? Freaking Stephanie Fakir or is that Jey Uso?
So high up, you're going to.
Yeah.
They're handing you oxygen tanks to help stave off altitude sickness.
Exactly. How's the weather up there?
I have an oxygen bar.
But it's so apparent that now WWE is starting to reference it because when that they're rehashing the same storylines with the whole referencing of Seth Rollins, now starting his own bloodline, becoming Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman going from an advocate to a wise man to an oracle. Like it's
Dumbass.
It's just all regurgitation, and we just need some fresh ideas. But us as fans, also, I'm going to be 100% brutal and honest here. As WWE fans, if they give us something fresh, let's not be idiots and poo-poo it right away. Give it time to breathe and cook. Because we can sit here and be like, we want something fresh. In the minute they give us something fresh and it's not exactly what you want, they're like, oh, fuck this shit. Bring us back to the old. Give me the old stuff back,
But Matt, you know what the whole thing is, that wrestling, again, for kids,
has more than one royal family.
I know. But for kids to see and enjoy, and kids are not going to sit there, this story sucks. They see a favorite wrestler.
It's the old heads like us.
Yeah, we're complaining about the storyline. We want to see more cleavage. We want to see more butt cheek. We want to see if we get more,
No, that's just you.
That's you.
Oh,
That's just
I'm sorry. But the kids don't care. The kids are like, wow, they're excited. I love when Roman Reigns comes out and they show kids in the stands and they're so excited that Roman Reigns comes out because kids love Roman Reigns and he's a fan favorite. But those kids don't know anything about creative. They just see their favorite wrestler and they're happy.
They're superheroes to them.
Exactly. So, we sit here as adults talking about stuff like this, and you think about the kids, but at the same time, you want some kind of storyline that makes sense and make it cool, where not only you kids can enjoy it, you say, oh shit, this is badass. I'm enjoying it, type of thing. That's what you need. Mm-hmm. You're not getting that anymore. You're not getting that type of engagement that you used to have. Because they're, look, 9 out of 10 people could write a story. Just about. It's how you present the story that stands out. Because we could all do stories, we could say this, we could make this and that, but it's the way the narrative of the story that you put out that people will notice. And The creative part, you have a feud, you get beat up one week, next week you come out, the other guy gets beat up the next week, and back and forth until the main day comes for the final fight. To have the fight on one of the pay-per-views. You want the storyline to be halfway decent. Look, let me tell you something. Cody finishing the story was one of the best figuring out storylines. Everybody jumping in to help him out. And you know what's crazy? You think about it now, we're okay aside, that he has nobody by his side anymore, really. All the people that helped him all became bad.
It's exactly like Seth said, but it's also been the best thing they've had going recently. Like, you had all of that feud with CM Punk and AJ Lee, and that was great up until after they announced AJ coming back. Then it feels like it stalled out.
Yeah.
But the Seth Cody stuff, there's depth there.
Yep.
There's, feeling emotion. The promos, the vignettes they've been cutting with the double interview between Seth and Cody talking about their history together has been phenomenal.
And
I hope the match on Saturday reflects that it's a phenomenal match. It's going to end DQ. I think we all know that. But I just want to see, that's storytelling. That's storytelling, cohesive storytelling in and out of the ring.
Yep.
That's what we need. Cohesive storytelling that follows through. Why do you have AJ Styles chasing Dominic Mysterio that didn't just become an afterthought to Rusev? Is it because Rusev went back and said, hey, listen, guys, I came back here and signed back with WWE under promises that aren't being fulfilled. Where's my push? So they're like, well, we know that we've got this storyline with AJ Styles going on, but he's leaving, so let's push Rusev. Sorry, AJ. Maybe we'll come back to you. We'll circle back to you. But we're going to just start pushing Rusev now. Sheamus, he has all but not been seen since he got taken out by Rusev.
Yep. Is he going to come back and interfere and have another freaking goddamn fighting section with freaking Rusev? I have a feeling that might happen again because there's no direction for fucking Sheamus when he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just... I don't know. I feel like we talked about this for an hour and 13 minutes on creative, and I could keep talking about it, but just not getting anywhere. Another big piece of news is that internal sources are all but confirming to the dirt sheets that John Cena's final opponent will be Gunther, and they are making plans for John Cena versus Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event for Cena's last match. So, even though that Cena's saying he wished he could fight Punk again and all this, so much so that now the other big rumor that's going around the IWC is that Edge is going to come back not for John Cena's final match, but to be John Cena's opponent at Survivor Series. And John Cena will not be part of the Survivor Series match. That's the other big one that's going around. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but usually where there's smoke, there's fire. But that's the other big one that's been kind of floating around out there, is that Edge could come back to be Cena's opponent at Survivor Series and Cena not being part of that Survivor Series match.
Because you think about it, you take away one of the matches, one of his final matches with the Survivor thing, because he's part of a fighting thing, but he also he has to slay the beast. He's got to slay Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has owned him every time. So that's another thing. He could fight Brock Lesnar again. But how many freaking times are you going to fight the same person over and over again? Well, you used to have The Rock, Stone Cold, fucking The Undertaker, always the same guys. Triple H, The Undertaker, Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold. That was the fucking quartet of fucking players back in the 90s. But well, they're trying for Dirty Dom versus John Cena. You know, you could have him win the belt off of Dirty Dom, win the triple crown of freaking belts, win it, and then have to fucking give it up the next day when he retired, or have an open challenge and lose. You know,
I think WWE should have went and had Cena heel all the way up until the Brock Lesnar encounter, and had it to where Brock Lesnar F5 did the heel out of him. I learned the error of my ways because Brock Lesnar F5'd me 8 times, and this concussion I have has got me
Suplex City and F5 me 5 times.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it on creative, and that's it on the kind of news front. We gotta say, Sticks, do you have the recap for NXT that we did last week, or just Crown Jewel?
Just Crown Jewel. I haven't had a chance to watch NXT yet.
All right,
so I haven't gotten that yet.
Let's get into our
so we're just going to do Crown
Jewel.
Jewel. Yeah.
Sticks, the floor is yours.
Who are you?
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for it to come up by my side. So Crown Jewel. We'll do what the first is here. Oh my God, I can't see it yet. Okay, here we go. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in the Australian street fight. Yeah, I've actually got Bronson Reed winning this in Australia.
You got Bronson Reed?
I got Bronson Reed. Yeah.
What are you feeling, Dom?
You know what? I got to second that, Bronson Reed, because, you know, the last time when they went to Australia, he wasn't even there.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, so they didn't even put him on the friggin' the card, the fight in his own hometown. So I see Bronson Reed winning, you know, this match because, well, we all know I think there's going to be the betrayal. I think something happens. Either a betrayal or a mistake happens where he gets super kicked by one of the Usos by mistake.
Reigns. Yeah.
Reigns.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, you know,
I think it's going to be Jimmy.
See, Jimmy, everybody's talking about Jimmy becoming, you know, I don't know. I think eventually Jay is going to slip into obscurity and turn bad again. You know, he's starting to show some friggin' some heelish ways about him. You know, but anyway, Bronson Reed
seem to be going. They definitely seem to be going that way with him. The way he's been acting.
Bronson Reed, look, you gotta give it to Bronson Reed because he does. He's fighting in his hometown. You know, it's his country, and yeah, you know, you do that. That makes more substance to the story. It's intriguing that he beats Roman Reigns. You know, because eventually, Roman Reigns is gonna have to freaking fight Seth Rollins again down the road. And eventually he's going to have to fight the rest of but yeah. Bronson Reed. Because how many times are you going to have these guys lose? They should be dominant. You know? So, Bronson Reed.
I think Bronson Reed wins this match as well. It's got to be, you got to have some sort of story, some sort of drive to get Roman into the Elimination Chamber and be part of that 5-man Elimination Chamber team. Him taking a loss to Bronson Reed here makes sense, especially since he picked up the win against Bronson Reed. What was it, SummerSlam?
Yeah.
So he picked up the win against Bronson Reed and got his shoes back, got the Shula Fala back, if you will. And I think.
Did you mean Survivor Series? You said Elimination Chamber.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I meant Survivor Series. My bad. I misspoke.
I know I got you on that elimination chamber earlier.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think that's how you're gonna get Roman Reigns into that Survivor Series team by him taking a loss to Bronson Reed and potentially with shenanigans from Braun Breaker here as well.
And maybe LA Knight has something involved too. Because LA Knight.
I don't think LA Knight would come in for this match. I don't think that's not his spot.
Who knows?
If Jay was in it, yeah, he might show up, but I don't see him coming in. Up next is the Rhea Ripley Iyo Sky versus Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Kairi!
Want to go first, Matt?
I think the clear winner here is Rhea Ripley and Iyo Sky. I mean, sorry, no, yeah, Rhea Ripley, Iyo Sky, Ripley's home country. You're gonna continue this feud, build this feud towards Iyo and Asuka. I think Rhea and Iyo take it.
Yeah, I say the same thing. You're going to build up the women's war games, and Rhea and Iyo are going to be part of the war games. You're going to get the other 3 members to be fight Asuka and Kairi. Curry. I think that that it's going to continue up until at least the foreseeable future. The Iyo Sky and Ripley. Eventually, I think they're going to become tag teams and they're going to win tag team champions down the road.
I mean, who do you even have in a women's war games? Like, that's the interesting thing is, like, we don't have a build. I guess we have maybe a little bit of a foundation to a women's war games match with Nikki Bella, Iyo, Rhea, and then you have the Asuka and Kairi. But who else would you fill in there on the Asuka and Kairi side?
Maybe you get
Becky Lynch.
Who?
But I mean,
Becky
Lynch?
Lynch
doesn't fit into this. Like,
no, Becky Lynch is going to fight with the belt.
No.
I'm going to say for friggin' you're going to Rhea and Iyo, Bianca Belair. I think she comes back.
What does she have? She's on SmackDown.
No, I know, but they're going to do a cross mix until the end of Survivor Series, and that's when you're going to probably see the friggin' the brand split again.
I don't see where she. I don't see where she would fit in to have.
Yeah, I don't
a
either.
beef with any of these ladies. I mean, it's.
Oh, she did. Remember,
I
the
guess,
damage control. Damage control. She still had a problem with damage control back in the day.
Yeah.
Like I said,
True.
But I think that whole beef would be over because that group split up. Like,
yeah, damage. So damage control used to be, Iyo, friggin' Asuka and Kairi. For the time
and Bailey.
And Bailey, and Bailey and your girl.
Like, I mean, so what do you? I guess so. There again, you would have Rhea, Iyo, Nikki Bella, potentially Bailey and Lyra Valkyria with the way it's going, versus Asuka, Kairi, and who and why?
Nia Jax. You could throw Jade Cargill somewhere in there.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting the next couple of weeks to see how they build this women's war games match out. It really feels like they have no.
Well, you have the whole month of October, and you have just about the whole month of November because 27th is Survivor Series of November. So
the last weekend of November.
Yeah. So you got a pretty good few weeks to build up some kind of big rivalry.
Yeah. I would have thought, as far as the war games, it would have been something with Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, and having a mix. Have them do that again with Seth and maybe a couple other people, but I don't know who you would get on except for the bronze. You know, have them and then have who? The Usos. That ain't gonna work now because they're not really even a tag team. They're kind of on the verge of splitting up even before they get started again because of the whole Jay and Jimmy not seeing eye to eye thing that's going on. So
I think this is just where we have to wait and see and trust the process, I guess, and see what WWE gives us as far as a women's elimination chamber match goes.
You're right.
I don't know about trusting the process, but at least going with the flow, how the process is doing it. But I'm gonna say Rhea Ripley and Iyo as well for this match. I think last time they were in Australia, Rhea lost. So I think this is, if I'm remembering correctly. So I think this time she will win in Australia. So I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong on it, but I'm pretty sure I think she lost though. Because I think it was a triple threat match that she lost.
I was looking, they had the betting odds on.
Oh, the Vegas.
Look, Stephanie Vakir wins over Tiffany Stratton due to outside interference from Julia. Yeah. That's my pick.
You think Stephanie's going to win with interference from Julia?
Because Julia's going to attack Tiffany.
I think if WWE does that, that really goes to show you that they have no direction. Because Julia should be focusing on her her female United States Championship, not focusing on the World Heavyweight, the World Championship right now, or the WWE Championship.
Right.
I see Stephanie Vakir winning this because she is the clear fan favorite in this. It's WWE's new shiny toy, so I think they're going to give her everything that she wants, or well, maybe not that she wants, but give her everything. So I'm going to go. I think Stephanie beats Tiffany straight up. I don't think there's going to be any Julia interference. I think if anything happens with Julia, it's going to happen on SmackDown. I don't think it's going to happen here.
Really?
I'm going to take Tiffany on this one. Yes, they're trying to push Vakir, but in all reality, they're trying to push both of them. Tiffany really hasn't had much going on in the last few years, and that's not her fault. If anyone's going to interfere in this match, it's going to be Nia Jax. I think Nia Jax would be the one who has kind of a beef with both ladies because they've got a belt. She wants a belt. I don't think she cares which belt she has. Granted, she'd probably want the one that Tiffany has more because Tiffany took it from her. But if anyone does interfere, it'll be Nia Jax.
Which I don't need to see Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton again.
Yep.
Right. So
currently the betting odds at this are in favor of Stephanie Vakir. The odds were pretty even, and now they've got Stephanie Vakir at minus 250 with holding a 71.4% chance of beating Tiffany Stratton.
Okay.
And
quite a pick, but yeah.
They have Rhea Ripley and Iyo Sky at minus 1,500 odds of 93.8% chance of beating Asuka and Kairi.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. Okay.
And Roman Reigns is at minus 300. It's close. Roman Reigns is at minus 300 with 75% likelihood to be victorious over Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. Because, of course, we need another gimmicked street fight.
Well, which they didn't say it was anything different than any other regular street fight. It just happened to be in Australia. It happened to be in Australia. Are you going to throw wallabies at everybody?
Right.
Kangaroos come out and start punching at them. You know, the kangaroos are pretty jacked out there. John Cena versus AJ Styles.
I have Cena. Take it Cena to go over Styles. Styles got the better of him their first time around. I think Cena.
It's been a while.
Cena goes over here.
That's it.
I mean, with as much build as you've had to this match, and this match is just pure nostalgia. Like, yeah, I think the fact that, you know, AJ Styles is sitting here like, I'm going to do my favorite thing, beat up John Cena. I think John Cena goes over.
Okay.
We'll see you done.
I'm going to say John Cena, too, as well. I think there'll be interference with El Grande Americanos. You know, because they're still involved in this whole thing with John Cena. Because now, I mean, AJ Styles is teaming up with, you know, Dragon Lee. You know, so that's still part of the conversation right there. You know, and they're going to be a tag team to go for the tag team belts. So, you know, Dirty Dom is involved too. So we can see maybe Judgment Day coming out with this as well. But John Cena wins.
I mean, I could see something like that going down after the match. I don't think they're going to interfere in the match itself. Like I would have loved to see them add Dom to this match, like I originally pushed.
Yep.
Could potentially Brock Lesnar come out and attack Cena again, maybe, which drives Cena to get into the Elimination Chamber. But again, there just doesn't seem to be any urgency right now to kind of book. I'm sorry, I keep saying Elimination Chamber because it's the War Games match to Survivor Series. Get John Cena to Survivor Series. But I just think the way this match came together and kind of we're getting it, it's just pure nostalgic, pure one last time, pure rivalry stuff. And I just think Cena comes out on top.
Okay.
I've got Cena winning as well. Dom said the Americanos are going to come out, but I'm going to say Dom comes out and messes with AJ to cause AJ to lose, which will thrust that feud a little higher for a War Games match for AJ versus Dominic.
On the flip, though, what's John Cena's remaining shows?
2 SmackDowns and then the.
Oh, he's got no more SmackDowns.
Survivor Series.
He's got no
I
more.
thought he had one.
He's got Raws, all Raws.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. It doesn't work then. He's got Crown Jewel on October 11th. Then he's in Raw November 10th, Raw November 17th, and then Survivor Series. So, like, really, there's not even any time to build up anything with John Cena.
Then you got freaking the Saturday Night Main Event where his last match was.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like,
we don't know.
What if, you know, you get Dom getting involved, costing Cena the match. Cena gets mad, challenges the Dom to an Intercontinental Championship match on Raw. beats him and becomes the Intercontinental Champion at the Raw on Netflix on Monday after, in Perth. That would be cool. But
It would be,
now,
but then you have Rusev wants to be involved.
but now you have, who cares about Rusev? I don't care about Rusev won anything like at this point.
I don't care about it either, but the whole fact is that he's part of the storyline now.
I think if you push Cena into a match like that, it kind of cuts AJ out for another month to have any kind of rivalry with anybody. Who else are you going to put him with? Who are you going to tie AJ to going towards Survivor Series?
I don't know.
That's right. Nobody. That's right. Nobody. It's only Dom or the Americanos. If you could have them against the Americanos, or what you could do is they cause him to lose, and Cena says, the Americanos come out and they start beating up both of them. Now you could have a tag team match with AJ and Cena versus the Americanos and Dom. I don't know if that would work as a War Games match. I don't know if you'd consider that anything good, but I mean, you could do that. I don't think Cena and AJ technically have anything against each other.
True.
So
it's sportsmanship.
I mean, you could do that where, it thrusts them into a tag team, which I don't know how many tag team matches Cena's had in his career. I can't really remember. I know he won tag team before once, right?
I think so.
Once. I think once.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, that's it. So that's always a possibility, I guess.
Yeah.
And then for the final match, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, due to the fact he is going to win.
He has to win.
He has to win. Because think about it.
Yes.
Yeah. It makes it sound so compelling that he was telling Paul Heyman, "What do you think about me if I lose?" Well, I've second thoughts about you over freaking Roman compared to you. Like, Seth Rollins is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes will have his rivalry with somebody else, but right now, Seth Rollins is going to win. Do you see Roman Reigns helping Cody in this match?
No.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, okay.
You can steer clear of that now.
I'm just saying, because think about it. You have the reverse. In fact, Seth Rollins helped Cody against Roman. Now Roman helps Cody against Seth Rollins. I like that he rehashes fucking stories.
They do. You're right.
So I don't.
Yeah.
Cody. I mean, Seth wins.
Yeah. I also am taking Seth in this. I think his whole "I need to win," I think it's going to be no matter the cost type of deal. Do the Bronze get involved? If anyone's going to get involved, it's going to be Breaker, because the other Braun is already. He's not that means anything, but he'll have had his match with Roman.
Here's the way I see this going. What did we take away from all that exchange on Monday night that Dom was just talking about? Seth saying to Heyman, what would you think of me? To me, that felt like Seth telling Heyman to call in that favor. Call in that favor. What do we have to build towards Survivor Series? Like, I think this is where Brock gets involved. Right. Either Brock or Drew get involved here, and they're the reason Cody loses. Either Heyman calls in that favor to Brock, where I said before, where he offers Brock a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship for helping Seth. You know, if Brock joins that War Games team, and that's what pulled Cody into it, or Drew, the same thing. And Drew or I think either Drew or Brock get involved to help Seth win.
Well, Matt, sorry to bother you, but I think Drew's going to be involved with Jacob Fatu. You know, they had the last week. He freaking they fought. You took the shoe off him and fucking knocked him out. So there's going to be a rivalry between Jacob Fatu and McIntyre now.
And that's why I said it's either one or the other. It's either going to be him calling in a favor to Brock, or Drew, since Drew and Cody kind of had that back and forth already. You got to. I'm looking at it as a way to build that Survivor Series team.
What about Randy Orton?
No, Cody and Randy are teaming against the Bronze on SmackDown on Friday night.
No, they did last week.
Oh, that's right. That was last week, wasn't it? No, I don't see Randy. I see Randy later on down the line. I see the Survivor Series angle where, like, maybe Randy turns on him in Survivor Series, or something happens in Survivor Series and between Cody and Randy. I don't know. I just don't see I don't see them pulling the trigger just yet on the Randy thing. Randy getting involved.
Well, Randy getting involved, helping trying to help Cody win, and costing Cody the fight.
My look on this is that this is how I look at this match. All the chips are in Cody's corner, right? Yeah. The ball's in Cody's court. Cody's 3-0 against Seth. Seth's never beaten Cody one-on-one. Seth has to win. There's nobody that needs to come out to help Cody win this match. Seth is the one that's going to need help to do it. And that continues the narrative of, well, you know, you've never beaten me one-on-one. You couldn't beat me without help. And straight up, you can't beat me. And they can allow them to continue that narrative, but also give Seth this win. So I just think it's like, where does Brock go from here? After Cena, the next logical opponent for Brock is Cody, right?
I know he had the matches with Cody, and he shook his hand at the end.
Yeah,
they had their fight. So, you know, I don't know. Well, yeah, well, it could be that Seth is going to lose, right? And the Bronze would be all freaking tied up with doing what they did, this and that. Nobody to help Cody. Brock Lesnar does come out and help Seth win. And Seth would be surprised. And that's when later on you find out that the favor was having him help, but also he had to return a favor. So
I think it's going to be interference by Brock or Drew. That's just where I'm going to sit with it. I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because that's why the way I kind of took it was Seth telling Heyman, I need to win this, and asking Heyman to help him win it. Mm-hmm. And what's the best way for Heyman to help him win it is to call on Brock Lesnar. And remember, they like to leave these little Easter eggs, and every every time Cody talks to Heyman, he references him as an advocate, as the oracle or the wise man. So he's throwing it in there. They're kind of laying that groundwork of, okay, well, you had Paul Heyman come out and introduce Brock Lesnar for the Cena match. I think it fits for there to be some sort of deal struck between Heyman and Lesnar to make sure that Seth, achieves this win, and Lesnar's going to get something in return if he helps Seth in the Elimination Chamber.
I mean, just Survivor Series.
God damn it! I did it again. Yeah. Yes, Survivor Series. Thank you. Yeah. I don't even at this point. I shouldn't even be talking professional wrestling because I can't even get my events straight anymore. But what say you, Sticks?
Yeah, I have Seth winning this as well. For all the points, like you said, he's got to win this. I don't know if we're gonna get help. I mean, he probably will. But I have him winning. I'm not going to say any interference, but there's a possibility. He says he needs to win it. I think that means he's going to win it. So I'll say it's a straight up match, and he takes out Cody, pins him. That's it. And unless they add anything Friday night, that's where we'll leave it off at.
I don't think they're going to. Five matches already set.
Yeah, I mean they've done it before, but I don't think so either. I think what they've got is darn near a good rack of matches. So,
but
that's it for that.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to cover or touch on tonight?
No, I don't think it's pretty good with that. I think maybe Friday night we'll get a Sammy open challenge, and that's where we'll probably get the
more likely. It seems to be the going thing for him.
The MFTs again. What's the other guy has to come back? Tamatanga? What's the other one that's out still?
Tongaloa?
I don't know. I can't ever tell
them
apart.
Yeah.
The Tongans.
He might make an appearance soon. I think he's ready to come back. You also have Dragunov ready to come back too. So
yeah.
And Gunther. Gunther is on the verge of coming back. So it could be any surprises that pop up at this. But my bet is on Survivor Series. I think Survivor Series will get a big something big happening. Survivor Series.
Yeah, I think that's when Gunther will be back at Survivor Series, or just before. So, that's it. Yeah.
No other news you guys want to talk about then?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, that's it for our show this week. I hope you guys had a great time. And remember, if you're going to New York Comic Con this weekend and you see Dom, make sure to say hello to Mr. Dom Tober over there. Get your pictures taken. He loves to take pictures with fans.
Exactly.
And all that good stuff. I hope you all enjoy Crown Jewel. Remember, it's an early one this week. 8 a.m. for you East Coasters. 4 a.m. For us on the Pacific Coast. So it's going to be a big one.
Also, the Monday night is supposed to be 8 a.m. too. So the Monday Night Raw.
So 8 a.m. So Friday SmackDown will probably be 8 a.m. as well.
Probably.
So,
but they haven't even mentioned that. They mentioned the Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah, like I said earlier, they haven't mentioned that SmackDown was on an early start
Is
time.
SmackDown taped? Did they tape SmackDown?
Oh, that might. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's taped, and they already flew out to.
I don't think it was because Raw started at 8:00. It didn't start earlier. If it had started at 6:00, I would say yes. They probably.
But they've taped a second show afterwards. That went late.
Well, they're gonna tape. Yeah, they're gonna tape 2 SmackDowns last week too.
Yeah,
but I guess we'll find out, won't we?
We will find out. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
All right. Well, if you want more from the boys here on Off the Mat, you can catch Sticks every Tuesday night over on his channel for his Doctor Who show. If you're into Doctor Who stuff, you can catch Dom and Sticks every Friday night over on Renovision on The Qualified. You can catch Sticks and I every Saturday night on Saturday Night Special Together. You can catch Dom Sundays on the Star Wars show, and you can catch me here on my channel all week long with all the little videos I put out. So on that note, remember, if you like the show, on your way out, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and Dom, send the people home with some words of wisdom.
Oh boy, you put me in a spot with this one. I actually don't even have any ready for this, but no, back to New York City Comic Con. You know, like Matt did say, you know, if you see me, say hi, you know, or just walk by. Just do what you have, you know, have fun, and it's gonna be a busy weekend, you know, and you know, it's you should have a changing of shoes, as Marco would say too. Change your shoes. We're gonna be walking around a lot.
Extra pair of shoes.
Yeah, right. Extra pair of shoes. No, but have fun. It's a con season. This is where things get fun, you know. So if you're in New York City Comic Con, you're gonna have a lot of your favorite wrestlers there. You know, they're gonna be signing autographs. So come enjoy, come have fun, and like I said, say hi. Don't be shy.
There you go. That's a good word.
Who's Marco?
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found. Welcome to the